Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So once again, thank you very much. So let's start with the chapter 9, confidential knowledge. So let me share the screen. Yeah. So you can see the screen here. So in the last chapter, a little bit of recap of the chapter 8, because everything is very connected, very scientifically. Krishna will not speak anything which is not only it is valuable or nothing is redundant, and everything is very connectivity. Because 8th chapter he spoke about how to attaining the supreme. Then 9th chapter is coming, the easiest process of attaining supreme. That is the very confidential, most confidential knowledge. So in 8th chapter, Krishna has declared that there is some question of Arjuna's, because in 7th chapter, last verses of 7th chapter, Krishna mentions about the Brahman, etc. So Arjuna got a doubt to ask what is Brahman, what is karma, what is Avibhuta, Adideva, etc., etc. Then Krishna explaining that to attaining supreme, you have to remembering me at the time of death. Also, you can remember me through the meditational process. But the pure devotional service is best way to attaining me. He has given himself the 8:14 beautiful verses, 8:14, 15, 16. Then he was now comparing between the material and spiritual world, because he has given a very glimpse of the what is material world. Bhutta praliyate is manifested, unmanifested. But spiritual world is paratasmastu. So it is para, superior, and it is never annihilated. It is sanatana, bhakta sanatana. So it is beyond this unmanifested, manifested world like material world. It is Sanatana. So he has given a glimpse of his own abode, the most spiritual abode, the highest planet in this spiritual world, Goloka Vrindavan. So he has given a little bit of glimpse of that. Then he has given the supremacy of pure bhakti in attaining him. So he is told that out of so many ways that to attain the things, those who are meditating, the yogis, they do all the different process of attaining. They leave the body in auspicious time. Some people leave the body in an auspicious time accidentally. They do not attain. Karmi do not attain. And but finally he told for bhakta is nothing auspicious, inauspicious, because they are beyond all this kind of auspicious, inauspicious. So he has given the last verses that once engaged in the bhakti, he can attain me easily. And it includes all the kind of process of attaining me, everything, Vedic study, everything. So when he was given supremacy of bhakti, then in 9th chapter, and there's a relationship between the flow of Bhagavad Gita, how Krishna is so beautifully explaining. In 7th chapter, we have learned that knowledge of the absolute truth. In 7th chapter, actually starting of the bhakti yoga, 7 to 12. And very beginning, he was giving the knowledge of the absolute. That is enlightenment of the bhakti. So he reveals that hearing is very important thing. That reveals the knowledge. And 4 type of pious people, they surrender to Krishna. 4 types of impious people, they do not. 4 type of pious people, artha, arthati, jnani, jigyasu. Those who are distressed, those who are they want money. Those distress means like Gajendra was distressed. Who want money? Durga Maharaj was want money. He want a kingdom. Jigyasu, who is Jigyasu? Jigyasu is this, we are tomorrow we have a classes, Bhagavatam classes, Canto 1, all this Sono Kurushi and all these sages headed by Sono Kurushi, they are very inquisitive to learn. So they are called Jigyasu. They are very pious. And Jnanis are Kumaras. Kumaras or Jnani. So there are 4 kind of people they surrender actually. The example of the 4 people is given in Nectar of Devotions. Then 4 type of impious people, they do not. And demigod worshipper also, it is not recommended. They would do it the wrong way because of ignorance, because of deficit of knowledge. So impersonalist also given in 7th chapter. In 7th chapter, Krishna mentioned many times Brahman and elaborate them. Some 8th chapter is attaining the supreme. As we have already told you that how to remember Krishna at the time of death. And Jnani Yogi, they attain liberation by path of light. Karmi comes back to the world, but Bhakta attend the Krishna abode. The difference between yogi and jnani, they do not go to the Krishna loco. They go to the impersonal Brahman. They do not go. There's a Brahman effulgence. They merge into the Brahman effulgence, and some yogis, they merge into the body of Krishnas. So their liberations, their attainment of Supreme is not the attainment of Bhakta. Bhakta attains the abode. That is very important point Prabhupada made the purport in the 8th chapter. That is very important point to note. So having described the glories of the Ananya Bhakta, those who are doing Ananya Bhakta, unalloyed devotion service, so then how to become such an Ananya Bhakta? So therefore the most confidential knowledge of pure bhakti has been given in 9th chapter. And also in this chapter, Krishna also told about his Aishwarya Gana, how he has created this material world, he has just maintained it and destroyed it. And also he has given that after knowing all the things, some foolish people, they do not surrender unto me. They do not respect me. They do not regard me as a creator, as the Supreme Lord. So they are fools. Avajananti mama muddha tanosim manu asritam. Then also the Gyanis, they do not approach like a bhakta way. They have so many different processes. But Krishna is more inclined to devotees. Even he forgive their accidental mistake. And finally, he has given 934 verses, Manmana Bhava Madhva Bhakta. The process of bhakti is supreme, and by that process, one can understand Krishna and one can go back to Krishna. One can become easy to go back to Godhead. So this 9th chapter we are going to learn. So Prabhupada has very nicely has given that why this 9th chapter is called this most confidential knowledge. You see, we have been gone through this 8th chapter. So you see the first 6th chapter is called Karma Yoga. Predominantly the karma has been described. So, but in most of the time, the Karma Yoga is about the body and the soul. So this is a confidential knowledge because it speaks about the body and the soul. And 7th and 8th chapter is about the absolute knowledge, about some enlightenment of bhakti. Some enlightenment means knowledge of bhakti, wisdom of bhakti. But 9th chapter is most confidential because it is the bhakti itself. It's transcendental. It's unalloyed devotional service, more confidential, most confidential. So therefore, this is called most confidential knowledge. So this is called Ananya Bhakti, which surpasses the path of light of darkness, Ananya Bhakti. So this is the thing. 2 to 6 is about the matter and spirit. So it's confidential. Guhya, Guhyatara, Guhyatama. Guhyatama is Kevala Bhakti, most confidential, Ananya, unalloyed devotional service. Krishna is going to explain now, unalloyed devotional service. And there is another Bhakti called Guhyatamam. That is 18th chapter, Krishna says, Guhyatamam. Sarva dharman parityāja mam ekam sar. Most confidential knowledge of all confidential knowledge, whatever I said. 1865, 66. Same verse, Manmana Bhava Madhva Bhakta Sarva dharman parityāja. So we should know the everything in a very, as Prabhupada said that, not in a single way. Prabhupada said that now how to learn Bhagavad Gita. So Prabhupada said that one must understand the flow of philosophy, not in isolation. Isolation, you learn one verses from here, one verses. Overall knowledge, comprehensive knowledge, overall flow of Gita, we cannot understand. Why it is confidential? What is more confidential? What is most confidential? So these are the things to know when you know the things as a cohesive unit rather than isolated way. So today we are going to learn this beautiful chapter, 9th chapter. So 9th chapter has 4 themes is there. So first 3 verses, Krishna glorified the confidential knowledge. And next, Krishna was giving the knowledge about his, Aishwarya Gana, his relationship with material world, how he created this material world, how he maintained it, how he destroyed it. Then he was talking about different type of worshipper of Krishna. There are so many worshippers. Jnanis are there, impersonalists there, karmis are there. So different worshipper of Krishna. And glories of Krishna Bhakti is the last, which is most core of the essence of all, in this chapter, essence of all the things, all the themes. So Krishna glorify the confidential knowledge. He begins with the beautiful verses. Idam tu te Sri Bhagavan Vacha, idam tu te guhyam tama prabhakhyami anasu avegyanam vijnana saitam yadgantva mukhya subhat. Very important. Supreme Personality of Godhead say, my dear Arjuna, because you are never envious of me, I shall impart you this most confidential knowledge and realization, knowing which you shall be relieved from the material misery of material existence. So this is the first thing that Krishna is telling, that for attaining Krishna, what is the easiest process? So he is giving the confidential knowledge. 8th chapter is attaining Supreme. So now he is giving the easiest process, but still it is confidential knowledge. Why it is confidential? Everybody knows that it's open secret. Why confidential knowledge? Confidential knowledge because not of its accessibility. Even Krishna say in 8th chapter, who is he is very dear to me, who is propagating this confidential knowledge. That means this knowledge is open. But why it is still confidential? Because accessibility is not a problem, but understanding is problem. Understanding is a problem. Assimilation is a problem. Everybody can assess. There are so many interpretations of Bhagavad Gita. But that means it is accessible to everyone, but everybody cannot understand. Why? Because enviousness. Krishna says, Anaswave. Enviousness means envy, no vacancy in Vaikuntha. If we are envious, we cannot understand Krishna. Neither we can envious of God, envious of devotees. Envy is very bad quality. Narottam Das Thakur said that I can use all my bad quality, kamo, krodho, lobha, mada, maschara, but I cannot use this enviousness, maschara, against the God. I can use everything. Kamo I can use for the Lord. Krodho also I can use, who is against the devotee or against the God. I can use my angry, but I cannot use the envy. Enviousness is very, very dangerous. So Krishna already did say that the qualification and means to achieve most confidential knowledge. And what is the benefit of that? He told qualification, Arjuna, I am speaking to you because you are anaswabhe. That is the first thing he told. That anaswabhe means free from envy. Therefore, you are qualified to hear most confidential knowledge. Because when you are envious, there are so many misinterpretations there. Why? Because they are envious of the God. They write Gita, they compile Gita, they've given commentary on Gita, but they do not accept Krishna as the Supreme Lord. So they are envious. Therefore, Prabhupada rejected them. No, they cannot be. Very, very significant. So many commentators, so many scholars, but they inaccurately write Bhagavad Gita because they are envious. Therefore, Prabhupada said that no one can explain Bhagavad Gita or give perfect knowledge of Krishna if he is envious, or who is accusing or criticizing the character of Krishna without knowing him. Such a fool cannot give a proper thing. So the qualification of Arjuna is anaswabhe, is not envious. And what is the means of receiving this knowledge? Hearing is the means to obtain the confidential knowledge. Hearing, without hearing, we cannot. Therefore, in the very beginning of 7th chapter, Krishna says that Maya Sakta Manapatha Yagaminju Madastra Asamsam Samagramam Yet Nagasasi Tatsuno. You hear. Without hearing, you cannot. And what is the benefit of hearing about Krishna? This confidential knowledge, spiritual advancement there. More and more we get enlightened and relief from material existence. As soon as we hear, relief from the material existence. So there are so many things are there, relief from the material existence. There is today also Sundar Gopal Prabhu was giving classes. So he was giving this nectar of devotion. What is the 8 characteristic of devotional service? What is the benefit of 8 characteristic? This is a very nice verses I will show you. This is given in 75, I think, today in classes. So this is 8 characteristics. So of course, I will give you very nice. I have today evening I have a classes, so I prepared nectar of devotion. From there I can give you, because this verses is from the nectar of devotion. One thing I just pull out. Beautiful verses. Yeah. So in nectar of devotion, Rupa Goswami has said that what is the characteristic of this one. So very nicely he has explained that what are the characteristic of six unique characteristic of pure bhakti. So here also Prabhupada said in the purport, Kleshagni means destroy the material suffering. Subhada, bestow auspiciousness. This is also there in purport of 975 cc. Subhada. Subhada means bestow auspiciousness. Mokhya laguta krit, disregard liberation. Sulabha, rarely attained. It's very rare. Sandrananda Visheshatma, manifest condensed bliss. That is called Bhava. And Krishna Akasani Chasa, attract Krishna. So that is the characteristic of bhakti. So here also Prabhupada says that what is the benefit of that? All this material misery will go away. Even Rupa Goswami is extensively say that, this one. So here it is very nice verses. This was actually prepared for the nectar of devotion. Tonight we have a classes, maybe if I have time. Krishnaya Vasudevaya Haraya Paramatmani Paranta Kleshanasaya Govindaya Namo Nama. This verses is from the Srimad Bhagavatam. It is a Krishnaya Vasudevaya. So he is a Klesha. Here you can say that Klesha means distress. Nasa means destroyer. He is the destroyer of the Klesha. Krishna is the destroyer of the Klesha. So therefore by bhakti, if you do the bhakti, all your Klesha will go away. All your Klesha will go away. That is the 1.1 advantages of the things. So it is stated in these beautiful verses also, you can see that how the bhakti is so powerful and potent. Immediately all the distress will go. Madasraya kathamrishta srimbanti kathanti cha tapanti vivida tapaha naitam madagata chetasa. Engage constantly in chanting and hearing about me, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The sadhu do not suffer from material misery because they are always filled with my thought, my pastime and activity. So by hearing and chanting, the process of bhakti, this confidential knowledge is nothing but Navada Bhakti actually. And by doing so, benefit is that you get enlightenment, all your material misery will be vanquished. That is the benefit. So here also, it is stated in the very first verses of Bhagavatam as we are reading that benefit is that spiritual advancement, also relief from the misery of material existence. So therefore, this is the Krishna say, this is the confidential knowledge. Now I am telling you with jnana and vijnana. Jnana means idam jnanam. This jnana means knowledge. What is that knowledge? 9 type of devotional service. This confidential knowledge is nothing but 9 kind of devotional service. What is that? Sravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Bhagasevanam, Archanam, Bandhanam, Dasyam, Sakham, Atmani Vadanam, Iti Punsarpita Vishnu, Bhakti Chena Lavalakshana. Because this 9 process of devotional service constitute idam jnanam. Jnanam means this is supreme knowledge, the confidential knowledge. By doing that process, all our heart become clean for any material contamination, and we will elevate to spiritual consciousness. This is the 9 process of devotional service. And this is the highest confidential knowledge, because Krishna also said that nothing is beyond this. Nothing is beyond than bhakti. Whatever other process like karma, jnana, and Ashtanga Yoga, whatever we have read, but bhakti is the highest. Krishna in these beautiful verses, he told to Uddhava, we should follow the Lord himself, because Lord knows what is the best process to come to him. Bhaktim labdavata sadhava kim anyada vishyasate mayananta gune brahmani anandanubhavatmani. So here Krishna said to Uddhava, what more remains to be accomplished for the perfect devotee after achieving devotional service unto me, the Supreme Absolute Truth, whose qualities are innumerable, who am the embodiment of all ecstatic experience. So Krishna said there is nothing beyond the bhakti. Nothing to be active. This is the confidential and supreme knowledge. In the next verses, he is telling what is the speciality of this confidential knowledge. The speciality of the confidential knowledge is the king of all knowledge. Nothing beyond this bhakti. Nothing beyond this. Because that is the end point. So in the second verses, Krishna is speaking about that what is the best thing about the bhakti. In second chapter, he is telling that confidential knowledge. So what is the special of this knowledge? Krishna says that Raja Vidya Raja Guhyam Pavitram Idamuttamam Pathakya Vagyamam Dharmyam Susukham Kartum Abhyam. This knowledge is the king of education. That means it's the sovereign knowledge, emperor of all knowledge, the most secret of all secret, Guhyataram. It is the purest knowledge, Uttamam, purest, because it gives direct perception of the self-realization. It is the perfection of all religion. It is the everlasting, is joyfully performed. Every word is so meaningful. Every word is very. So what is the speciality of the knowledge? Because it is the Raja Vidya, king of all knowledge, essence of all doctrine, philosophy, explained before. There are so many philosophers in India, Gautama, Kannada, Kapila, Yajnavalkya, Sandhya, so many different philosophers are there. There is Vasudev also there, who is written Vedanta Sutra. But Krishna himself said that this knowledge is essence of all doctrine and philosophy. Therefore, it is king of all knowledge. Raja Guhyam means most confidential knowledge. Therefore, the topics today is most confidential knowledge. Why it is confidential? Because it talks about our eternal activities of the soul. What is the eternal activities of the soul? Our activities in the material world is all about the related to our body. But eternal activity of the soul is devotional service. Jivera Swarupove Nitya Krishnera Nitya Dasa. So our constitutional position to serve the Lord. So therefore, and this knowledge is giving that how we can execute and what is our activities and how we can execute. Jivera Swarupa Krishnera Nitya Dasa. So it is living entity constitutional position to be eternal servant of Krishna because he is the original energy of Krishna. So here it is stated also same thing. Why it is called as confidential knowledge? Because it is giving the activities of the soul, not activities of the body. Because activities of the body does not give us the positive information about the soul. And sometimes also, even activities of the soul also, sometimes it does not give the proper impersonalism, voidism. This is also not a proper knowledge. Avisuddha buddhaya. They are avisuddha, they are not complete knowledge. That God has no form. God is no eye. What does it mean? God has no form means he has no body, he has no eyes, he is blind, he has no hand, he is handicapped, he has no leg, he is lame. So this kind of thing is offensive, indirectly offensive to the Lord. So this is also not a complete knowledge, telling that Krishna has no original form. So these are not complete. So therefore it is confidential knowledge because it gives the complete knowledge. What is God? What is our eternal activities? That is, therefore it is called Raja Guhyam. And all this modern educational system, modern knowledge education is not the king of education, because this education system is for the livelihood, how to maintain livelihood, which is bodily platform, not the platform of the soul. But this confidential knowledge Krishna is revealing is not bodily platform, on the spiritual platform or related to the soul, activities of the soul. So Raja Vidya, Raja Guhyam, Pavitram Idam Uttamam. What is Pavitram means pure, purest form of all activity. Purest, because bhakti is very strong, pure. We have so many done, see why we are suffering here. We have done so many of activities, so many sinful activities. Because of reaction of that activities, we have been placed in different ways. Karmena daiva netrena jantu. It is stated that according to our karma, so we have been placed. So because we are sinful activities, we are involved in so many activities, reactive activities. Sometimes they say that why you are telling sinful activities, then what kind of activities? Okay, reactive activity. So Sri Bhagavan was the karmena daiva netrana jantu dehopapatte. So the personality of God had said, under the supervision of Supreme Lord and according to the result of his word, living entity, the soul is made enter into the womb of the woman through particle of male semen to assume particular type of body. So we have been different type of body. How it is? According to karmena daiva netrana. Result of his work. It is a result of his work according to karma. Somebody is putting different body, fish body, somebody is tree body. Why? This is stated in Bhagavatam. Covered by the mode of ignorance in material nature, living into sometimes a male, sometimes a female, sometimes a eunuch, sometimes a human being, sometimes a demigod, sometimes a bird, an animal. So on. In this way, he is wandering within the material world. His acceptance of different body is brought about his activities under the influence of mode of nature. See, according to karma, either good, bad, or a mix. According to karma, there are 8.4 million species of life. Why? Because we have 8.4 million species of 8.4 million desires are there. Somebody want desire like a snake, okay, you become a snake. Somebody desire like a cat or dog, okay, you become dog. Man proposes, God disposes. According to your psychological condition at the time of death, you will get a body. Just like Bharat Maharaj, he was so attached to deer, he got a deer body. So it is up to us. We determine our body because how it depends on our attachment. We are attached to somebody, we will get that one. So in this way, so many species of life, according to so many desires of life, so many desires we have. The permutation combination, mode of goodness, passion, and 3 into 3, 9, 9 into 9, 81. In this way, it goes on to 8.4 million species of life. So in this way, we have been wandering. So according to karma, even Bhagavad Gita also say these beautiful verses. Sorry. So Bhagavad Gita say that Karanam guna sangasa sad asana sad asad janma janmishu. According to our karanam guna sangasa sad asad. According to our association, we get this. We get different body according to our association. Okay. So in this way, we are getting all these different body according to karma. But bhakti is so potent, this confidential knowledge or this bhakti is so potent that even after we have so many reactive reaction is there, reactive activities is there, or so many karmas are there, that karma at once can be extinguished simply by bhakti. Therefore, it is called Pavitram idam uttamam. It is purest of knowledge. All the sinful reaction, however stages it will be, even after the stages will be very bad stages. In this beautiful verses also, Krishna, in this, in this purport also, the beautiful verses from Padma Purana has been given, where it is stated that what kind of sins we have, whether it is a fructified, whether it is about to fructify, everything can be extinguished simply by this knowledge. This aparabda phalam papam kutam bijam phalam mukham karmaneva pralayate Vishnu bhakti ratatmanam. For those who are engaged in devotional service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, all sinful reaction, whether fructified in the stalk or in the form of a seed, gradually vanish. Therefore, purifying potency of devotional service is very strong. It is called Pavitram Uttamam. See, Uttamam means transcendental. Tama means material world. Therefore, Krishna called Uttama Sloko, Udgata Tama. It is above the Tama means material world. Uttama means which is transcendental to material activities. So this is therefore it is called very confidential knowledge, king of knowledge. Why so much glorification? Why Krishna is glorifying this knowledge? Because it has got a potency that all your things at once born into the ashes. This is the transcendental knowledge. At once born into the ashes. Even after you so many things. Even Krishna say that in chapter 4 also, he spoke very nicely, chapter 4, that why this knowledge is very important. Krishna say that, O chastise your enemy, the sacrifice performed in the knowledge is better than, not this one. You can go to 36, 35 also. So here it is stated very nicely that even you are considered to the most sinful of all sinners. When you are situated in the boat of transcendental knowledge, you will be able to cross over the ocean of middle. Why? Because this knowledge or this confidential knowledge, this bhakti, navada bhakti is so potent that it will destroy all the sins. It will destroy. Therefore, it is idam uttamam. So I can go a little more deeper, but we have no time. So because it is so many other verses are there. How this just like a fire burns the wood into ashes. There's a beautiful verses in 11th canto. Similarly, the bhakti will burn into everything.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes.
We have times, Prabhu.
Yeah, but yes, there is a beautiful verses are there. Kesit Kabbalah, there's so many verses I can show you on this regard, how this bhakti is so potent. So here the Sukadev Goswami is very nicely saying that Kesit Kabbalaya Bhaktya Vasudeva Parayana Agaham Hunmanti Kasneya Naharam Ibha Aksara. Only rare person who has adopted complete on-knowledge devotional service. That is called Ananya Bhakti. Today is Ananya Bhakti. Krishna can uproot the weeds of sinful reaction with no possibility that they will revive. He can do this simply by discharging devotional service, just as the sun can immediately dissipate fog by the rain. So here it is said that by this confidential knowledge, Ananya Bhakti, if we do that, if we execute this Bhakti, then what will happen? Even it roots the reaction, not only reaction, from the root means the tendency of doing sinful reaction will be uprooted. Sometimes there are other process if you follows karma, yoga, atonement, they may nullify all your sinful reaction, but they cannot uproot your tendency to do that. Just like a thief, a stealing tendency can be checked by police department, but stealing can be checked by police department. If the police department is alert, a thief cannot steal. But his tendency cannot be taken away. No. Prabhupada said that your heart cannot be purified because of enforcement of the law. That can be purified only by Krishna consciousness. So the tendency to commit sinful activity only can be uprooted by bhakti. Sometimes we may not do anything, but our tendency is there. But by bhakti, that tendency also will be rooted out. That is the potence of bhakti. Also, there is other verses are there where it is a nirdhati. This Brahma Samhita also it is stated that up to Indra Gopam. That means from Indra to Indra Gopam, everybody under the law of action and reaction, law of karma. But that can be solved, that can be rooted out, that can be nullified simply by bhakti nirdhati. By bhakti process, it can be vanished. It can be neutralized. So this is the potency of the bhakti. We can move forward. So we can go to the third verse. So different is. Then Krishna said that Pratyakhyavagamam. What is this Pratyakhyavagamam? Means direct perception of the self. By doing the bhakti, sravanam, kirtanam, smaranam, what will happen? Direct perception. That is the most important thing. Direct perception of the way. By chanting Hare Krishna without offense, you feel very pleasure. You can yourself go to Sunday program. You see chant along with the association of duty. So how you feel the direct perception? You feel the ecstasy in the heart. What is it doesn't matter whatever your qualification. If anybody comes, even a first time to the temple, he participates this Sarvanam, Kirtanam, all the things. So he will feel ecstasy. That is called direct perception. Irrespective of his just like example, last Sunday we have given a classes of Narada Muni. How Narada Muni become Narada Muni. You all remember? So I'll show you these verses. Simply the process of bhakti, how Narada Muni become. Narada Muni actually a Sudra. He was born in a Sudra family, Sudra mother, and but he got a chance. He got a chance to associate with the sadhus, because during the rainy season, Chaturmas, the sadhu do not go. When sadhu do not go to other places, they stay in one places, and accidentally or providentially, they were staying near to the Narada Muni's places. Narada Muni mother is a Sudrani, a Sudra mother, so he was serving them, and Narada Muni also serving them. And whatever the lepana, Uchista lepana anuvidya dijjo. Uchista lepana means Once only, by their permission, I took the remnant of their food. By so doing, all my sins were at once eradicated. Thus, being engaged, I become purified in heart. At that time, very nature of transcendentalist became attractive to me. See how you purify. As soon as you come in touch with the bhakti, you get purification. Silmanti gayanti grananti aviksnasaha. So by process of bhakti, by hearing, by tasting, there are three very powerful things. What are the three things? Three things are there. These three things is very important. It is stated in Antya 16:6, 60. Bhakta pada dhuli, bhakta pada jal, bhakta bhukta avasesa tina mahabhav. The dust of the feet of the devotee, the water that has washed the feet of devotee, the remnant food left by a devotee are three very powerful substances. So these are the part of the bhakti. As soon as you associate with the devotee, the three things is very powerful. You somehow and other you take the remnant left, just like Narada Muni took, and he became purified. And this tendency, the propensity of executing devotional service aroused in him. Therefore, it is called Pratyakshya Avagamam. You directly perception. Now, Narada Muni giving by example that how he felt. He is speaking to Vasudev. I felt that kind of tendency, that kind of transcendental symptoms. I was attracted. Slowly, I hear. After that, he telling, I am hearing. After hearing, I become, in the subsequent verses, he was telling, I hear the transcendental knowledge. Oh, great says, as soon as I got the taste of personality of God, my attention to hear of the Lord was unflinching. And as my taste developed, I could realize that it was only in my ignorance that I had accepted gross and subtle covering. For both the Lord and I are transcendental. See how I got a taste, and my attention of hearing was unflinching, because simply by associate with the devotee. See, I had the opportunity to hear these great soul sages constantly chant the only unadulterated glories of Lord Hari. As the flow of devotional service began, the covering of the mode of passion and ignorance vanished. So this is the example has been given how Pratyakshya Avagama, how it is directly you can feel that. And next word is Dharmyam. Pratyakshya Avagamam Pavitram, sorry. Pavitram Pratyakshya Avagam Dharmam Susukam. Dharmam means devotional service. Susukham kartam abhayam. Susukham means this blissful. Because positive engagement of the senses. Senses is not blissful, is not positive. Negative engagement will not give you any. Negative engagement means a bodily engagement, just like a cage in the bird. So as whether you have a golden bird or diamond cage or a golden cage, but you do not feed the bird, what is the use of this one? Bird will not be happy if we engage him in a golden or diamond, very costly, very precious case. So therefore, our senses will not be so blissful when it is engaged in the material activities. Our senses will be more giving pleasure. Brahma Saukhyam Anantam, when it is engaged in Husikena Sevanam Bhakti Ruchata. So therefore, Susukam, this simply hearing, chanting, prasadam, and all these things very nice. The Kumaras, how the Kumaras they become transcendentalist. By hearing process, the Kumaram become very transcendentalist. Simply by smelling the Tulasi. It's stated in stated that when Kumara went to Vaikuntha, they hear about they went to Vaikuntha and they were stopped by the Jaya Vijaya. They cursed them. And that time Vishnu came. When Vishnu came, the fragrance of Tulasi from the lotus feet of the Lord smelled by when it was smelled by this Kumaras, they were actually Brahmavadi. They were impersonalists. They become devotees. Susukam, they're so blissful. They were giving very nice. Yes, so we can hear also Susukam. This example has been given. Patram Puspam Phalam Toyam Lome Bhaktya Prajati. So the same example is given of Kumaras. The Kumara example is given in this beautiful verses in 9.2 also. Example Prabhupada is given that how the Kumaras are Kumaras, they have become Mayavadi to become Not Mayavadi, they are Brahmavadi also, better than Mayavadi. They become the devotees. So this is the verses also proper. This one is very no, this is knowledge. This is so big for Port Prabhupada given very important verses. No, Kumaras are there in this Canto 3, it is there. So let me find out this Kumaras one. See. Yes, 3:15:43 Kumaras. Forgetting this verse. 3:15:43. How the Kumaras they become devotees by smelling simply tulsi. When the breeze carrying the aroma of tulsi leaves from the toes of lotus feet of the personality of Godhead entered the nostril of those sages, they experienced a change both in body and mind, even though they were attached to the impersonal Brahman understanding. See, therefore, this is the Susukam. Pratyakavagam Susukam. Very, very happy and also directly perceive how the mind you're changing, how mind is changing. Therefore, this confidence and knowledge is very important. So Rajavid Susukam Kartam Abhayam. Abhayam means everlasting. It cannot be lost. You have done something, it cannot be lost. Narada Muni says that it cannot be lost. Krishna also said that Salpam apyasya dharma satrayate matavata. Narada Muni says also it cannot be lost under any circumstances. Bhakti cannot be lost. Whatever you have done, it is there forever. So in these beautiful verses, one who has forsaken his material occupation and engaged in devotional service of the Lord may sometimes fall down while in an immature state, yet there is no danger of his being unsuccessful. On the other hand, non-devotee though fully engaged in occupational duty does not gain anything. Why does not gain anything? Because it is lost, whereas bhakti is not lost. Arjuna also is asking, what about the failure, those who are failing? No, that cannot be lost. Again, he will take birth in a very aristocratic family or a devotee of a family. Again, he can continue. So therefore, bhakti cannot be failed. Bhakti cannot be temporary. It is everlasting. Everlasting means is permanent actually. Whatever you do, it is a permanent asset. So then we go to the next verses. Rajavidya, Rajaguya, king of all education, king of secret, purest of all, transcendental to ignorance, all Uttamam. Give direct experience of the self by realization, perfection. Dhamya means perfect of all religions. This perfection of all religion. This is bhakti. And Susukham, easily, joyfully performed, indestructible, not destruct or everlasting. So we can go to the next verses, very important verses. So अश्रद्धादान पुरुष धर्म शास्य परंतप अप्राप्य माम विवर्तन्ते मुत्तु संसार वर्तमान. So here it is very important. Krishna has spoke about the glories of the transcendental knowledge. Now he is speaking about for receiving this knowledge, why non-envious is important. Because those who are non-envious, they are faithless. And faithless person cannot approach me. Those who are not faithful in this devotional service cannot attain me. O conqueror of enemy, therefore they return to the path of birth and death in this world. Very, very important. Whole Krishna consciousness process is a faith building process. Just like in our IT company, those who are working, they say the team building project, team building process. Our Krishna consciousness is all about faith building process. Initially started Adau Shraddha. That Shraddha is very weak, fragile Shraddha. Then Sadhu Sangha. Slowly, our faith is increasing. Faith become more strengthened by the process of bhakti. Sadhu Sangha, Bhajana Kriya, then Nishta, Ruchi, Asakti, Bhava, Prema. A Prema stage, faith is very, very Sudhishta Nisha. Sudhishta Nisha. Vishwasa. Vishwasa means, Chaitanya Charitamrita says, Sudhishta Nisha. Means unflinching faith. Unflinching faith. What is that unflinching faith? That if you do Krishna Bhakti, then everything will be Krishna Bhakti koile sarva kama siddhi. Everything will be perfect. That is called unflinching faith. So our is whole unflinching faith, building up unflinching faith. Therefore, there are three categories of devotees are there. In 11, 3, 46, 47, 45, it is given. And how the three kind of devotee has been categorized? Everybody putting tilak, everybody putting the same dress, same tilak, same year. Why there is a difference? Everybody chanting also. According to their faith, they have been categorized as a Kanishta Adhikari or a third level, first level, second level. Kanishta, Madhyama, Uttama. So what is that third level? Third level is, it is stated in these beautiful verses in Bhagavatam. Who is called neophyte devotee of third level? Their faith is not so good. No, not sorry. So this is the thing. This is here. It is stated that how the third devotee who faithfully engage in the worship of the deity in them, but does not behave properly towards other devotee. People in general is called a prakata bhakta, materialistic devotee, is considered to be lowest. Actually, in Chaitanya Charitamrita, this little bit of definition is bit of different little. According to faith, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that according to faith, it has been categorized. That those faith is not so, is called third level lowest. And those faith is firm faith, but not very advanced in devotional scripture. Simply trying to follow by association and simplicity. That is called second level. First level is firm faith, well versed in devotional scripture, no chance of fall down. So according to faith has been categorized different. So faith is very important factor, very paramount important for attaining Krishna. Krishna himself said, Asaladhana Purusha, those who have no faith, or faith is weak, it is very difficult. Therefore, neophyte also very difficult because they have to build up that faith. Second is faith is good. But the firm faith is that is in first class level. They are firm faith, unflinching faith on Krishna. That is firm faith. That Krishna will, avasya rakhive Krishna. Krishna will definitely protect me. That kind of Vishwasa, avasya, unflinching. The gopis are unflinching faith in Krishna, whatever it may be. Completely surrender, unflinching faith. Aslisya va padaratam pinaktu mar, aslisya va padaratam. Whatever you do, or dasanam mamahatu karatu bal, gatha tatha vidato ulampata, mata prananatatu, swavana paraha. So there is an unflinching faith. Whatever you do, I am your worshipable. You are my worshipable Lord. That is called unflinching faith. So Krishna said that those who are faithless is very difficult. Very difficult. Because why? So because they have no, they have no faith means you cannot advance in. It is very difficult to advance. Very little hope for perfection. Very difficult. Again, they will return to birth and death. Mogo asa, mogo karma, mogo jnana vijayati. Krishna also says in 9th canto, those who have no faith, they do not accept me. Avajananti mama muddha manusim tanu asritam. Ajananta param mama muttamaesara. Mogo asa, mogo karma, mogo jnana vichetesa. So all their things, all their perfection to attain me will be baffled. All other work also will be baffled because they have no faith on me. And that is stated after he spoke about the Aishcharya Jnana, his opulences, his knowledge. And he's telling many people they do not surrender me because they have no faith. They do not know me. They're thinking that I'm a human form of life. They do not know my transcendental potency. So this Asadhana Purusha is very important. Then Krishna say, after this one, Krishna is explaining about that Mai Tatam Idam Sarvam. That is knowledge about Krishna's relationship with material world. That is called Aishcharya Jnana. His opulences. Maya Tatam Idam Sarvam Jagata Bhatta Murtina Matastani Sarvabhutani Nacham Tesu Avasishta. So this first 3 verses is explaining of the glories of confidential knowledge and his benefit of confidential knowledge. This fourth verses onward to 10 verses, knowledge about Krishna's relationship with material world. So Krishna here telling that by me in my unmanifested form, this entire universe is pervaded. All beings are in me, but I am not in them. So Krishna here explains the Achinta Veda, Aveda, inconceivable. Achinta Veda Aveda. Although everything, I am there in everywhere, unmanifested form. Everywhere I am there. Maya Tatham Idam Sarvam. Brahma Samhita, the verse is there. What is that called? Andhantarastha Paramanu Chayantarastham Govindam Adi Purusam Tamahammadan. Krishna is all pervading. But still he is not there. How it is possible? That means why it is important to tell us? Because by telling us, we will develop the reverence more devotion. This is the Aishwarya Jnana. That is the whole idea. That this kind of Aishwarya Jnana, this kind of his opulences, if we hear, our respect and devotion for the Lord will be manifold, it will be increased. So here Lord say that, yes, I support pervades entire universe through all his energy. Parasya Sakti Vivideva Srate. So many energies are there, just like a rich man, Prabhupada say. He has so many secretaries, so many workers, they will take care of all the things. So many managers are there. He doesn't need to do that. Similarly, Lord has so many energy. Natasyam karyam karanam cha vidyate. So many energy. He is working. So he does not have to involve in that. All pervading aspect of the Lord describes the Abhyakta Murti, I mean unmanifested form. All beings are in me, I am not in them. Just like government or kingdom. Everywhere kingdom, but king is not there. President is everywhere. Government is everywhere, but the president is not everywhere. Everywhere there is a law, rule, government rule, everywhere. Whether it's a private or government company, everywhere in the country there is a government rule is imposed, is applicable, is enforced. But that does not mean that the lawmaker is everywhere. So similarly, Krishna says that all pervading, yes, I am all pervading, Abhyakta Murtina, in my unmanifested form. That means we cannot see the Lord by our gross material senses. We cannot see that. But by practice of devotional service, we can see the Lord is everywhere. Rasam Apsukanteya, he is giving that all pervading nature. I am there in Rasa, I am there in everywhere. That means everywhere my energy is working. But I am not in there. So only way to see the God is, as Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu says, Ataha Sri Krishna Namadi Na Bhavet Guhat Indriya. Sevan Mukha Jivatav. We cannot see that God is all pervading, his energy is working everywhere. Only way to see that by devotional service. By practicing devotional service, and particularly by tongue, by prasadam taking, by chanting, then when you purify, we can see the Lord is all pervading. Otherwise, we cannot see them. So everything, entire cosmic manifestation in 7th chapter, when he was speaking about the absolute knowledge, that time knowledge about his all this absolute knowledge, that time he was giving that everything, this material energy is my energy, and the living entity also my separate energy. They're superior, para prakriti, apra prakriti. And I am the supreme of the both. I am the supreme of the both. So his entire cosmic manifestation is combination of all this energy. And all this energy working in a very unmanifested form. People say that where is God? God is working. Prabhupada said that. You do not know that. How the God is working. Just like a flower, you smell. But you are detached. You smell the flower, but you are detached with flower. You just smell the flower. You have, when the smell of the flower comes to your nostril. But we have no connection with the flower and yourself. Similarly, Lord energy is working, but Lord is not there. You can feel his energy, sun, moon, day, night, everywhere. Everything is working. His energy is working. That means it is a refutation of, is refuted that, everything is working by itself. No, because his energy is working. Krishna say, everywhere I'm pervading. Everywhere I'm there. My energy is working. Just like sunshine. Sunshine is spread all over the universe. Everything resting on the sunshine. That does not mean that sun is everywhere. Similarly, Lord is everywhere, but do not lose his personal existence. Government is everywhere, but president is not there. There is no president. No, president is there in his house, in his room, in his office. The king is there, but his kingdom is everywhere. the rule of the kingdom is applicable to everywhere. This is all this departmental energy. So in this way, Krishna is explaining that although I am everywhere, but I am not in them. Na cha matastani bhutani paschame yogam aishcharyam bhutavrinna cha bhutasto mamatma bhutavavanaha. Yet everything that is created does not rest in me. Behold my mystic opulences. Although I am the maintainer of all living entity, although I am everywhere, I am not the part of cosmic manifestation. For myself is very source of creation. Very mystic, very important. What is the mysterious about this, about his relationship with matter? The mysterious is that Jogo Ischaryam. After explaining all being rest in me, Lord says opposite, that they do not rest in me. Everything rests. See, Lord says that everything rests in him, but they do not rest in him. That means contradictory something, contradictory language to show that he personally aloof from the working of the universe. Such functions are carried out by his energy. Just like a rich man. Rich man say that I have so many company, everything belongs to me, but I am not there. I am not working, means I am not doing, because who is doing that? His all energies is doing. That is called Jogo Ishchara, the inconceivable mystic power. Everything created and does not rest in me. Everything created, but does not, because somebody is automatically is working by his energies. Also, this imply that he is aloof, he is not concerned with the maintenance, not directly concerned. He is not directly, indirectly. Krishna also say in the very first verses of Bhagavatam, the Janmadasya Anyad Anvarat Abhigya Swarat. Directly, indirectly, he is cognizant, just like a chief engineer. A chief engineer, he knows the architecture, everything. He has created the design, everything of a construction. But he is not involved in all the work. Directly, indirectly, he is cognizant. He knows everything. He created all the design, but implementing by some other. Similarly, Lord, although he created, but he is aloof. His energy is working. Automatic. Parasya Shakti Vivideva Swate. So therefore, it is refuted that this modern argument that Lord is this universe is created by Big Bang theory, chemical evolution, so and so forth. It is refuted here. Why refuted? Because God has expanded everything, and God has created everything. Therefore, it is refuted. Still, he is aloof from that. His energy is working. And Krishna says that understand that as mighty wind blowing everywhere, rest always in the sky, all created being rest in me. So give some example, because people will not understand. What is this? You created everything. You are the source of creation. Still, you are not in that creation. What is this? I mean, they will be really little puzzled. So give an example. He is explaining this complex relationship with example. So Lord gives an example of the sky. In a sky, wind is everywhere. Total wind. The sky is like a god. Wind is everywhere. But still, the wind movement will not affect this. Lord is aloof, unaffected, just like a sky is aloof, not affected by the movement of wind. This is sky. Movement of wind is going on, but sky is unaffected. Similarly, Lord created everything. Everything rests in him, but he is not affected. He is not affected. But everything is under his care. So then he is telling that, O son of Kundi, at the end of the millennium, all material manifestation enter into my nature. And at the beginning of another millennium, my potency, I create them again. So this is very nice. That is how everything abide in you. So Krishna is explaining that inconceivable potency in terms of his creation, destruction. Now he is talking about how he is under the supreme will, all this material manifestation automatically created and annihilated again and again. This is just like a Brahma's death. When Brahma lives for 100 years, that is 413 trillion and 40 billion years. So much years, Lord Brahma. When Lord Brahma dies, there is annihilation is there. That annihilation, all the living entity, what will happen to them? They wind up. They again come to the body of the Krishna. And again, the next millennium, when Brahma is again created, that time, again they will manifest. They are dormant in the body of, they say in Mahavishnu body. Anyway, but it is dormant. Then again the material energy will come, all these things will be activated. They are just dormant at the time of annihilation. So Krishna is explaining how this is. And those who cosmic order is under me, those whole cosmic order is under me, under my will, it is automatically manifested again and again. Under my will, it is annihilated at the end. So Krishna is the main thing, engineer of the thing. How it is working because of nature, everything. Is working because of nature. Now Krishna said, no, it is not working because of nature. Many people say material nature. But Krishna is clarifying here. Prakutim swam avastabhya brijissami puna. My will. This is Krishna's will, supreme will. Everything depends on the supreme will. This all Mahatattva, everything, three Vishnu is created because Krishna desired to create. He wanted to create it. So he created all the things. It is stated in the Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Canto 2, how the creation happened, how Krishna wanted to be created. So Krishna said, I created everything. Everything is manifested under my thing. So this is the thing, automatically manifested. Then Krishna is telling that, oh Dhananjaya, all this work cannot bind me. I am ever detached from all these material activities, seated as though neutral. So although I created everything manifested, unmanifested by my will automatically, but I am not implicated. I am not implicated. I am ever detached from this material activity, Lord said. I am not responsible, just like a judge. He is giving somebody punishment, somebody is releasing somebody this punishment, that punishment, different punishment. But judge is not unaffected. So therefore it is said that Lord is also udasina vat asinam. Udasina vat means neutral. He is neutral, just like a judge is neutral. He is no more nothing to do with all his punishment. According to things they are going on, according to the merit of judgment he is giving. He is neutral of material activities, how it is going on. Although he has a control, minute details, everything, but he is just like a judge, is all control. He can give anything, but he is not implicated. This is not personal. The way this nature is, according to particular rule Lord created, it is working. So he is no more affected with that one. He is transcendental, all this material duality, dualities, and Lord also does not interfere. Lord does not interfere. According to it is stated in this beautiful Bhagavatam verses also, Lord is not responsible for all the things. Our karma, everything is our responsibility. Nor does the Supreme Lord assume anyone sinful or pious activity. Embodied being, however, are built because of the ignorance which covered the real. So Lord is very neutral. Either it is created or the action of the living entity or action of his creation, he is neutral. Udasina, but he is very much neutral. He has nothing to do. He is not implicated by this. It is working under the certain rules of, although he is controller. He is telling, I am the controller. This material nature, which is one of my energy, is working under my direction. O son of Kunti, producing all moving, non-moving being. Under its rules, see, under its rules, this manifestation is created, annihilated again and again. So there is particular rules are there. According to that particular rules, which is also created by the Lord, under that particular rules, okay, this material nature will be annihilated completely at the time of death of Brahma. And the night of Brahma, it will be partially, pralaya will happen, partial devastation. When again daytime come, then every living being will be again coming back. So these are all these rules of maintenance, rules of creation, rules of destruction. So according to Krishna has created that. So it is according to his energy, supposing just a company has certain rules. According to rules, all his manager, secretary is working. Although rule is created by the company and means company means the owner, but he is not affected by that. You cannot say because of you created the rule, so you are implicated. No, he is not implicated. He is nowhere implicated. So Mayadhyakasana Prakriti is telling that what is your role of working of material nature? The role of is that I am the director, I am the overseer, I am the superintendent. I am the superintendent. Everything is under me. Although I am aloof, but we need the sanction of the material energy. His sanction, material energy have to sanction. Just like a boss, somebody secretary will come, oh, we want something, want you to, I need your sanction. So Lord sanction it. Even the demigods, Krishna says the demigods, And people are praying worshipper of demigods, although they are thinking that they are getting from demigod. Actually, it is given by me, Krishna says in 7th chapter. It is given because everything is sanctioning authority. Whatever the activities we are doing, super soul is sanctioning. 1323. So super soul has to sanction. Without sanctioning, nothing will. Not a blade of grass moves without sanctioning of the God. He has to sanction. I may say I desire something now. I may desire something, but without sanctioning the super soul, I cannot execute it. This is beyond our power. Therefore, it is said that there are 5 factors of our activities, and most important is super soul. Therefore, Lord's hand is everywhere because he is sanctioning authority. Although he is aloof, but his sanctioning authority is there. He is sanctioned. Material energy is sanctioned. He is giving signature, just like a president or boss is giving sign. Okay, I sign, approve, approve, approve. That's all. But he is directly not involved. The material nature is working under particular rules. They are doing all the things. Just like we are. We are doing how man proposes, God disposes. You want to do something nonsense. Krishna, okay, approves. Of course, sometimes he wanted to interfere, like he doesn't interfere, but sometimes he do not want that you do, but you are adamant, okay, approves. But he is aloof. Whatever you do, you do. This is your thing. You will suffer. So in this way, Krishna says, prakriti swatesya characharam hetunanena. All this material nature is working under certain rules and certain rules. So that means management is done by material nature on behalf of the Lord. On behalf of the Lord. Just like big company, Bill Gates. Bill Gates is not everywhere. On behalf of Bill Gates, somebody is working, his manager, his secretary is working on behalf of. He is detached. Very easy to understand. He is detached. But on behalf of. So on behalf of Lord, there is so many energies are working. So many departments are there. And departmental head is there. Brahma, the Lord Shiva, Brahma, so many things are there. They are departmental head. This is the own energy. Material energies are there also. Material nature also so many. Superintendent is Durga. So this material nature is working under the Sisti, Sthiti, Pralaya, Sadhana, Sakti. So Krishna is there. Chaya Vajesa, Nani, Vivarti Durga. Chana Rupa Pijasam, Sachestata, Govinda Mali Purusam, Mahamadani. So all this Sisti, Sthiti, Pralaya, all this creation, maintenance, destruction is conducted by this material nature, which is superintendent is Durga Devi. He is like a Chaya Vajesa. Is like a shadow of Krishna. He is like a servant of Krishna. So he is executing all the things on behalf of Krishna. So Krishna is now impress giving. So in this way, this is the 10th verse, 9th, 10th, the important verses Prabhupada always say, Maya Dakshana Prakriti. Sometimes say the scientists say, people say ignorant, the nature is working. But nature is working, how it is working? First of all, nature is created by glancing created by glance, the nature is created by simply glance of the Lord. And Lord is impregnated everything, all this moving, non-moving. He is the seed-giving father, Krishna says, I am the seed-giving father. Otherwise, how the material nature will create everything? Energy will not create. Krishna has impregnated all the things. So here also very important to understand this one. So how the Lord is created everything on earth. This is called Aishcharya Gana or Krishna's role in terms of his material nature. So he is the everything. He is the controller of everything. Under his supervision, everything working. But he is not directly involved. He is aloof. On behalf of him, so many energy. Parasya Sakti Vividei Vasvate. So this is the thing. So there's a verse also you will see. This is the verse is also there in Bhagavatam. It is stated that Natasya karyam karanam cha vidyate natas samascha adikasya drishyate parasya sakti vivideva suti swabhik gana balakriya. Supreme Lord is the controller of all other controllers. There are so many controllers, but he is the supreme controller. He is the greatest of all diverse planetary leaders. Everyone is under his control. All the entity are delegated with particular power only by the Supreme Lord. They are not supreme themselves. He is also worshipable by all demigods. He is the supreme director of all directors. Therefore, he is transcendental to all kind of material leaders, controller, and worshipable by all. There is no one greater than him, and he is the supreme cause of all causes. He does not possess a bodily form like he. So anyway, this is different. So this is the thing that everything, Parasya Sakti Vivideva Sudha, so many energy, so many departmental head is there. So for material nature, somebody is head. Indra is head of rain, wind, Vayu Devata is there, Varun Devata. Everybody is there, but Krishna is supreme controller. They are departmental heads. So in this way, this is Krishna's Aishwarya. So next chapter, next theme, actually we will do it in the next session, but just give a glimpse of next session is that different type of worshipper of Krishna. So after knowing this Aishwarya that Krishna is the head of everything, he is overseer, he is the superintendent, director. But why everyone does not understand your divine position? Krishna is telling, why? Because avajananti mamamudha manusim tanvasritam param bhagavad mamamudha. Because fools think of that I am ordinary man, do not consider my Aishwarya Jnana. The Jnana Krishna is speaking now, that I am the superintendent, everything created, manifested, I am aloof, I am everywhere, all providing in my unmanifested form. This kind of Aishwarya Jnana, they do not understand, they do not consider that. Therefore, they are avajananti mamamudha, they are fools. Because then what happened to what is their fate? Those they do not consider, they do not accept your all the Aishwarya Jnana. Their fate is that mogo asa, mogo karma, mogo jnana vichetasa, rakhasim asurim chaiva prakriti mohinim srita. They are called asuras. The two verses for asuras. Those who are thus bewildered, attracted by demoniac atheistic view, in that deluded condition, their hopes for liberation, their fruitive activity, their culture of knowledge are all defeated. So because they do not accept this Aishwarya Jnana, their fate is like that. But in subsequent verses, Krishna says, Mahatmanastu mam part daivim prakriti. That means those who accepted my Aishwarya Jnana, that I am the superintendent of all this, Maya Krishna Prakriti, everything created, everything annihilated, but I am aloof. Although I am everywhere, still I am aloof. So all this Aishwarya Jnana, that everything created by me, maintained by me, destroyed by me, and the Asura, they do not believe. So therefore they are defeated. They cannot get liberation. Murtu Sansara Vartamani, Asadadhana Purusa. But whereas those who accepted this, they are called Mahatma. They are not Duratma. They are not Asura, they are Sura. So this Sura or Mahatma, great soul, what they do, Mahatmanastu Mamapartha. They are Mahatma. They always engage in my service, knowing that, oh, everything belongs to Krishna. Knowing that it is inexhaustible. Knowing that Bhutva Gantva, understanding this Aishwarya Jnana, they engage in the service of the Lord. What is their characteristic? Always glorifying the Lord. Satatam Kirtanta Mama Jadantasya Duddhavata Namasantasya Mam Bhakta Nitya Jukta Pasate. Everywhere, always Satatam Kirtayanta Mama. Means always they glorify me by chanting, by discussing of the topics about me. They are always Nitya Jukta Pasate. So this is called the Suras or Mahatma, or those who have accepted the Aishwarya Jnana or the supremacy of the Lord. They are different categories. So we will study this one in next chapter, because it is a heavy chapter. In next session we will finish all the things and different type of worshipper. Also the glories of Krishna Bhakti. We will next session we will finish this too. So thank you very much. If you have any question, anything, you can ask. Yeah, 7142. What is that? 24:1 here. 24:1. 13, yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, can you please explain again the point how Krishna refutes that argument about Big Bang theory?
Yes, Krishna is refuting the Big Bang theory by saying that, yes, I have created, this is the thing. Once again. So Krishna here is speaking about the, yes. Here modern conception evolving. Krishna says that Sarva Bhutani Konteya Prakritim Janti Mamikam Kalpakya Punastani Kalpandu Visijam Aham. O son of Kunti, at the end of millennium of all material manifestation, enter into my nature. At the beginning of another millennium, by my potency, I create them again. Where is the Big Bang theory? Big Bang theory means what? Accidentally something happened and bombardment happened, then all creation. But Krishna is refuting, no. It is annihilated because my potency. Under my will it is there. Oh, Prakriti Manti Mamikam Kalpakheya Punastani. Again it is manifested in another millennium. Because of my will. Under the will of Supreme Lord, all this material manifestation automatically created, annihilated again and again. That refuting itself the concept of modern concept of evolution. That everything accidentally happened. No, everything will of the thing. And there is a rules also. Time, Krishna has set a rules. That how this Brahma at the millennium, end of the millennium, after the Brahma death, then everything become, all energy become wound up to the Lord himself. Then again it is expanded. Again it is expanded. He expands the material energy. So this is very important, verse 9, 8. You can show them, anybody says that evolution process, but you can say Bhagavad Gita, Krishna refuted this one. That no, it is created and annihilated by my energy, under my will also. So this is the thing. Hope you...
Thank you very much, Prabhu.
So here, the Janma Hoiti, what is the 24 one? Always Sukadev Goswami for Kumara were always observed in thought of impression of the Brahma. No, this is already, we have shown in this verse is already shown, na, that one, that about Kumara, Canto 3, we have shown these verses. How they are attracted when they were being, they were cursed, and Vishnu came and they are attracted by this smell of the tulsi. So it is, we have 3:15:43. This is about Kumara actually. This is Kumara, how the Kumaras, when the breeze carrying the aroma. This is called Pratyakya Bhagamam, directly perceived, and Susukham. So this is Bhakti, potency of Bhakti. Simply by smelling, one can change his mind and consciousness. So that is the potency of Bhakti. So any other things we will see? Where is the any other chat? We see 24:113 is 17:142. Let's see what is 17:142.
It's basically Prabhu the same verse from Bhagavad.
Oh, okay. Oh, same. Oh, yeah. That is the same verses where bridge occurring. Okay. This is Bhagavatam also same. Yes. Yeah. Most of the verses of Chaitanya Charitamrita from Srimad Bhagavatam. And the best way to learn Srimad Bhagavatam through Chaitanya Charitamrita, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati said. Then anything else? We see. Omnipresent. Yeah, omnipresent is there. This omnipresent means this is the thing. In Brahma Samhita also the Maya Kritam Idam Sarvam Jagata Abhyaktamutina Matustani Sarvabhudani. I am everywhere, but I am not in them. That means all my energy. Prabhupada given example many times, just like a secretary job, just like a boss, a rich person has so many secretary. He doesn't have to do anything. Everything is done automatically by secretary under the particular rules. So Krishna is there, but automatically done. Government is there. The president is not everywhere. The prime minister not everywhere to direct. Under his, all his energy, all his departmental head, they are working. Kingdom also, everywhere there is a kingdom of the kings. But king is not everywhere present. So that is the meaning. That is called inconceivable potency of the Lord. This is called Achinta Vedas. So this is the called absolute knowledge, inconceivable Aishwarya, opulence of the Lord. Everything created is the source of creation, still is aloof. Neither it is affected, nor he is present there, nor it is affected. Any kind of activities does not affect the Lord. Oh, because of some loss, our material example may be a problem, because a rich person, he may not be aloof, but if there is a loss, he will be affected. But Krishna is not affected by all loss for anything. Krishna is unaffected. Anything happen, whether good, bad, anything material, he is not affected. Everything belongs to me, but it is not affected. I am beyond, he is beyond that. In 7th chapter, 7 Bhagavad Gita, he is told, 7, 13, 14, all the things very nicely spoke about this. Chapter 7. Krishna says that although deluded by 3 modes of good, passion, ignorance, the whole world does not know me, who am above the modes of inexhaustible. The next verses he is speaking about that divine of energy, then sorry, 7:15, 7:12 is Yeah, 712. 712 is speaking the know that all state of being, be they goodness, passion, ignorance, are manifested by my energy. I am in one sense everything, but I am independent. I am not under the modes of material nature. For they, on the contrary, are within me. See, for contrary, they are within me. Therefore, Krishna himself give example, because sometimes they will think that what kind of Krishna is something contradictory telling. Everything I created, I am there, but I am not there. Some kind of contradictory. Krishna says that the sky, I am like a sky, and winds inside a sky, within the sky. Wind, movement of the wind do not affect the sky. Simply think, although I created, it does not affect me. I am aloof. I am aloof. Sky is aloof from the wind, but winds are within the sky. It's very simple example. Lord himself given. Lord himself given. That is the example to understand. Very simple example to understand. Wind is blowing in the sky everywhere, but it does not affect the sky, and sky also not involved in that, aloof from that. So this is the thing. This is good. This is very nice. So any other questions? Anything? So if there is no question, it's a very important subject matter. Actually, real things is coming the next two themes. Next two themes is very, very important, particularly addressing this different worshipper like impersonalist, voidism, so many different demigod worshipper also there. Abhidhi Purvakam, Krishna says they are Abhidhi Purvakam. They are doing a wrong way actually. You cannot eat, you have so many holes, but you have to eat through the mouth only. And you cannot eat also mouth in a different way, no, holding your hand different way, no, straight like this. So if somebody is actually not doing properly, as I said, as instructed by Krishna, then there is a very possible they cannot attain me. Their destination is different, Krishna said. So it's a very important of different worshipper, how they approach Krishna. And finally, he is concluding with the supremacy of the bhakti, the Kevala Bhakti, Ananya Bhakti, that one. That another devotional service, Krishna say immediately he will go back to Godhead. 26 Patram Pushpam Phalam Toem Jome Bhaktya Pravachati Tadam Bhakti Rupartham. 4 line Bhakti, 4 line, and 2 times he is using Bhakti. So Vishwanath Chakravarti is telling that, is it redundant? No, it's not redundant. Lord is giving this emphasis on bhakti. Patram Pushpam Phalam Toem Jome Bhaktya Pravachati. One is enough. No. I will again use this bhakti word. Jome bhaktya tadaham bhakti rupatam asnami pratam. Bhakti is such a great word. He is telling it's a king of knowledge, is a king of all secret, is a most confidential knowledge, guhyatamam, raja vidya raja guhyam, pavitram uttamam. And he is using 2 times in a 4 line, I mean, simple patram pusam. Why? Because emphasizing this bhakti. Emphasizing. Therefore, in the last theme, you can see that how Lord is ending up 26, 27, 28, 29, 31, 32, 33, 34, from back to back 7, 8 verses about bhakti, supremacy of the bhakti, important of bhakti, and finishing this 9th very important chapter. So thank you very much. Stay tuned for next session, which is very important.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavad Pranam. Very nice class. Prabhu,
Sky means Kirtan.
can I
Yes.
ask you one question?
Yes.
See, Daiva Netrena, you said that
Yeah.
Lord is supervising everything.
Yeah.
So we have got free will to do good or bad, like to do
Yes.
proper as per Shastric injunctions or ignore that. So Diti and Kashyap time, like Kashyap had all the information, all the knowledge, but he could not resist himself, and Diti also. So one way we can understand that it was Lord's will, but there is one more thing, that there are 3 kartas. One is Lord sanctioner, and we are desirer, and Prakriti, through Prakriti manifest instrumental. So everything, like if we use our free will properly, then there will not be any karma, there will not be this 8.4 million species, and then everybody will be in spiritual world, like right?
Yeah. But yes, then what is your question?
My question is that but Kashyap, he was knowledgeable, and he could not resist also. He could have family, 1 hour difference only. So I like the Yudhishthir Maharaj, Dyut Krida. So how this is all Lord's pastime. One way we can understand that it is all Lord's will for his pastime, but as per these are the principal things we are learning in Gita, that the
Yeah.
basic that free will is the one thing, and three karta, that Lord
Yeah,
is
here it
after
is
all,
stated. Hmm.
Lord is after all, everything is being sanctioned by him.
Yes.
How then we are getting into this karma business because
Yeah,
we are
here it is stated here. He stated this on verses 429 to this. Living entity by nature has a minute independence to choose his own good or bad fortune. But when they forget his supreme master, the personality of God, he gives himself onto the modes of material nature. Being influenced by the modes of material nature, he identifies himself with the body and for the interest of the body become attached to various activities. Sometimes he's under the influence of goodness, ignorance, sometimes mode of passion, sometimes mode of goodness. Living entity does get different type of body under the modes of nature. So first thing, root cause is this independence. That minute independence is there because we are called marginal energy. Marginal energy means which is a tendency to either under the material nature or under the spiritual nature, under the Yogamaya or Mahamaya. So we have that tendency because we are marginal energy. The tendency is always there. If when the tendency is misused, we are under the trap of Maya. When it is tendency is properly used, we are under the Daiva Prakriti Asrita. Therefore, in the next verses we are going to discuss next session, this is Sura Asura. The Suras, they are not under the Daiva Prakriti Asrita. Mahatma are Daiva Prakriti. They are under the Yogamaya. They are under the, they are not the transcendental knowledge. They are the superior energy under the
yes, Prabhu.
Yogamaya.
Yes, Prabhu, that is okay. But destiny, now we call, there's one more word, that the destiny, that we have to take care of our own karma phalas. So
Yeah.
destiny also, by destiny also we can this may be influenced by destiny also, as per our guna, nature, how we use
Yeah.
our minute independence.
Now, what is the destiny? Destiny is nothing but the result of your past karma. Result of your past karma, because this is destiny. We say destined, we are not destined. How we are not destined? Because of karma, karmic result. Result of your action is called destiny, simply things. According to your karma, you are getting, it is stated in this 429:58. So many verses that this
So
is.
this minute independence is dependence on depending on that karma phala, whatever our destiny.
No, no, mine, the minute independence has been given. This independence given not by destinies. In the destiny is karma phala. It says that result of or whatever living entity does in this are enjoyed in the next life. That is your destiny to get what is good, what is bad, like this. But the independence is given to you, whether you can use it or not. Even though you have got bad thing, good thing, that is your result. You are suffering or you are enjoying. But despite all the suffering, enjoying, this independent is there. Whether I am suffering or not enjoying, but I should worship Krishna. That tendency, that independence is given. And you can come to me or not come to me. You are not, Lord is not intervening that don't stop this work and stop this work. So go to goodness or go to devotional service. This is Lord is not responsible for all the things. But according to our independence, according to independence, we are been attached to the different modes of natures. Different. When we think that no, I will now stop all the things, Sarva Dharman Parityaja Mamekam Sarana, I will surrender, then all your things will be nullified, Krishna said. So that independence is done, and this your willing power, that how I wanted to choose, your decision making. Decision making. The karma phala you are getting, but karma phala is not different than your decision. You are not taking decision on the basis of the karma phala. Of course, these modes of material nature influence you. Therefore, this Krishna consciousness is very important. It will go beyond the things so that your activities, everything will be purified.
Okay, bro. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Just like a prisoner is under civil law or under the criminal law. So he choose to be criminal law. When he is inside the criminal law, also he can become a civil law. Means he wanted to come out. So, but he never the out of law. He is under the law. Either Yogamaya, Mahamaya, you are under the God always. We are under the supervision of the God, with the control of the God. There is nothing beyond that we can go. Outlaw is not out of law. But our independence to choose whether I can. Therefore, Prabhupada was given, question was given that how long it will take to become Krishna consciousness. Prabhupada said 1 minute. Just you have to desire. Okay, now I'm finished. I have done all the things. Whatever happened, happened. Now I surrender. It's not like providential you are surrender. Of course, that comes also this a little bit of piety is there, mercy is there. In that cases, there are sadhana siddha, kripa siddha, these things will come. Because Krishna says that Brahmanda Brahmite kono bhagyavana jiva, Guru Krishna kripa pava bhakti lata bija. So Brahmanda Brahmite kone, after wandering things, somehow he got the mercy of the Krishna and mercy of the Guru, then he get the seed of devotional. That is important. And that also you told that how your independence work, how your mind desire will work. Desire also work by your process of purification like this. Because your independence is there, not some discrimination, human form applied discrimination is there. Although you are infected, you may say that I won't be infected by modes of nature. I want to be mode of goodness. That power is there, na? Willing power, desiring power. That discriminating power is there. Na? You cannot, although you are carried away by the modes of nature, but discriminating power is there to come out from this. Then what is the use of, we are like a stone. If I have no discriminating power, whether I have to come out from this modes of nature or not. I will come to temple or I will hear or not. I will decide. It's not like that the previous karma will make me to decide. Of course, I am influenced by something. There is always process of coming out. Therefore, when you come to the human form of life, there is a junction is there. Particularly, other form of life, there is a natural evolution process. But human form of life, where it is junction, crossroad, there this independence is given. Therefore, Krishna is giving yat nasasi tat kuru. Arjuna, I have already told you the confidential knowledge. Now you do whatever you like. He should have told that no, you are according to your destiny, you have to do like this. No. But he told that no, he is given independence to Arjuna. That you choose. You choose that. That independence is there now. Arjuna is deciding. He is not deciding by the influence of some kind of past activities. He is deciding because he understood now. He realized that, okay, I have to change it. So this independence is always there.
Right, Prabhu. This translation, which is open right now in the screen, the results of whatever a living entity does in this life are enjoyed in the next life. In this life also we can get the result, right? Not necessarily next life.
Yes, same thing. This usually last life things we get it this life thing also next. I mean, whatever the result. In this way, it is the nature. But sometimes this way depends on a fructified. I already showed you. There are our karma has three kind of things: kutta, bija, and phalan mukha. So kutta means bija means root. The root stage are about to fructify. It depends on your karma, what kind of thing. Supposing you are doing some, you are planting some seeds, automatically it will not grow. It will take time. Suppose someone is giving murder. Sometimes the murderer also will get the result immediately. Sometimes will not get. Depends on how the supervision of the higher authority. Supervision of higher authority, not that immediately. Supposing somebody is dying, somebody is doing some mistake, he may be escaped because his activities, he will get the result next life maybe, or maybe later. It depends on how how it is fructified, what stage it is. What stage? Sometimes immediate also. Depends on the severity. So it is all under the implication, the complexity or intricacy, as Krishna says in 4th chapter, intricacy of action, reaction, everything very integrated, that one. They're very deep, many intelligent people also build that. But everything is karmena daivanetna, under the supervision. Under the supervision of things he will be having. He will get the result. It is actually related to the body, actually, how one get body. So Narada Muni explaining this about body, how we get body. Now you are talking about small activities, but Narada Muni here talking about the body. That immediately, supposing your body Whatever you have done, the activities you get accordingly that body. That's why he is giving some explanation. Result of whatever living windows in this life are enjoyed in next life. Supposing you are good pious activity, you will get a demigod body. And if you do not do a pious activity, mixed passion like this, then you get a human body. Or you want to do something very big karma, Nunnam Pramatha, you get the animal body. So this is what Prachinavaris, Narada Muni speaking to Prachinavaris in this book. Thank you very much. So we'll see you
Thank
next
you.
week.
Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
sir. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Dimitri Prabhu, and all these devotees, they attended. I'm really grateful and very appreciated for your
Hare
association.
Krishna.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Prabhu, for a wonderful class.
Thank you so much. Thank you all the devotees. I really appreciate it. I really obey my prostrated obeisances.
Hare Krishna. Looking forward for tomorrow's class on Srimad Bhagavad.
Thank you so much. Thank you so
Yes,
much.
Haribo.
Hare
Jai
Krishna.
Shri Prabhupada.
Jai Shri Prabhupada.